Should I invest in my TSP or my IRA first? Do I need an emergency fund? What about real estate? This is Rich from richonmoney.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about the most optimal way to invest your money while you're in the military. These steps are chosen by highest return on investment first, and these are things like TSP matching, paying off debt, retirement accounts. There's an optimal way to invest your money in the military, and here are the 7 steps. Get your match in the TSP, establish an emergency fund, pay off debt, invest the max in a Roth IRA, invest the max in a TSP or 401k, open a taxable brokerage account. Last but not least, real estate investing. This one's optional, but I recommend you listen to the end because there are mistakes that you cannot make with real estate or it'll blow up this whole process. I've been at the beach the last month. I came to visit my good friend Doug Nordman of themilitaryguide.com, who after 20 years in the military retired and has spent the last 19 years surfing every day and writing about military finances, in that order. I just hit 20 years myself. And like Doug, I designed a life where when I retired from the military, I'd never have to work again. We're ready to talk about number 1, get your match in the TSP or a 401k. Now let me explain how this works. Some military members don't have matching in their TSP. I didn't. If that's the case, you skip this step and go to number 2. But if there is matching and it's 5% in the TSP, you do that first. You contribute 5% so that the TSP gives you 5%. That is literally a 100% return on investment. Now on top of that, you're going to get growth and compounding over time. I'm plowing through these quick today, so listen in. Step number 2 is establish an emergency fund. Now this is interesting because some people like Dave Ramsey tell you you've got to have 6 months of expenses saved up. And there are other people that will tell you while you're in the military, you don't even need an emergency fund because of how stable our jobs are. Well, the answer is in the middle somewhere. I say you need 1 month of expenses in your emergency fund. Put that money aside first. It's there for surprises like pay problems, family emergencies, car problems, large home expenses, you name it. You've got some money liquid to take care of those issues and get on with your life. Get that emergency fund and let's keep going. Number 3 is pay off your consumer debt. I'm going to caveat this by saying I'm not talking about a primary residence and I'm not talking about student loans. Get rid of everything else. There are 2 famous ways to pay off debt. One is called a debt snowball, one is called a debt avalanche. And you can use either one of these to pay off your debt. I recommend the debt snowball. With the debt snowball, you list all of your debt, list how much you owe and interest rates. You pay off the debt with the least total amount owed first. This gives you some early and quick wins that'll motivate you to keep going, and that is exactly what you need. That's why I like the debt snowball. There's also something called a debt avalanche. Now with the debt avalanche, you list all of your debts, sort them by interest rate, and you knock out the one with the biggest interest rate first. Now over time, you would save a little more money this way, but I still think the psychology benefits of using the debt snowball and the encouragement you get from seeing those debts go away quicker is a smart move. That's number 3. Moving on to number 4, invest the max in your Roth IRA. 2 important things here. I recommend Roth over traditional, and I recommend an IRA before a TSP. Let's talk about why. Now that's one of several reasons I can think of that a Roth is often better for military members. I recommend doing the Roth for both your TSP and your IRA. Now you're not going to go wrong doing either. That's just my recommendation. And why Roth IRA before TSP? In the military, a good portion of our income is not taxable. Now that includes housing and food. That gives us a lower effective tax rate than most other people out there. Once you've had a Roth IRA established for 5 years, you are able to take your contributions out at any time without any penalty. This can come in very useful for early retirees or for emergencies. This is not possible in a traditional IRA, and it's not possible in the TSP at all. I also said invest the max into your Roth IRA. That's hard to do. Dave Ramsey recommends saving 15% of your money for retirement. 15% will never get you to financial independence. That's not even close. The magic of having large amounts of money invested from an early age and letting that compound for 20, 30, or 40 years, that's what gets people into the 2 comma club, otherwise known as millionaire status. The max you can contribute to a Roth IRA in 2020 and 2021 is $6,000. Another reason I like IRA over TSP, TSP has limited investment options. You've just got the funds, CSIGF fund and the life cycle funds. In an IRA, you can invest in pretty much anything in the market. The TSP also has more limitations on how you withdraw your money. So step 4 was invest the max in your IRA. Well, what do you think is next? Step 5, invest the max into your Roth TSP. One of the reasons I love investing in a Roth TSP is there are some people that make too much money to contribute to a Roth IRA. Well, there is no income limit for a Roth TSP, so you definitely want to take advantage of that. Another big plus about having a Roth TSP is that once you leave federal service or leave active duty and you're no longer in the reserves, you can take that Roth TSP, turn it into a Roth IRA, and then you're able to access those contributions just like you can in a Roth IRA. Then you've got a lot of money that you can access before 59 and a half. And that is key if you're going to end up retiring early, and I hope you do. One of the most important things about maxing out your TSP is how much money it is. It's more than double what they allow in an IRA. It's $19,500 in 2000 and 2021. And you want that money tax advantaged. Make sure you get it. It's more important than normal investment accounts. It's more important than real estate. Do not forgo this step for anything else. Trust me on this. Number 6, open a taxable brokerage account, otherwise known as a normal brokerage account. It's an account that doesn't have any restrictions. You can put as much money as you want in, and when you make money, you can take as much as you want out at any time. The big difference is you're taxed on the money that you make in this account. Now, number 7 is an interesting one, real estate. If you know anything about my blog and my story, real estate was a big part of my financial life and a big part of how I achieved financial freedom. What not that many people know about me is that the previous 6 steps is what got me to the point where I am today. That didn't come from real estate itself. That's what enabled the real estate. Investing in real estate is optional, but if it's something that interests you and you're willing to put in the work and become good at it, it can diversify what you have and accelerate your growth. So I'm saying it's optional, but there are things about real estate that are not optional. And that is, don't make real estate mistakes while you're in the military. Let me quickly go through them. Number 1, don't buy a house on active duty unless that house is going to cash flow well when you move away in a few years. Right now I'm living on a pretty nice house in a pretty nice place. I'm happy to be living here, but it is a poor investment and it would not cash flow well if I moved away. Now that's a choice I made late in my career when I had the money to make that choice. Don't do that early in your career when you're still making your money. Don't buy these big houses that end up being poor investments. Save that for later. Avoid buying for appreciation. PCS into San Diego, awesome. PCS into DC or Honolulu, good for you. Resist the urge to buy a house there. Everyone's going to tell you you're going to make a lot of money. I'm going to tell you there's a good chance you'll lose a lot of money. It'll probably be a poor investment. And I have lots of evidence of this from 20 years in the military, talking to lots and lots of home buyers. I've got a video about appreciation somewhere. Let's take a look at it. With these 7 steps, these order of operations, you can get rich while you're in the military. I want you to comment below on which one of these steps you're on right now. And of course, it could be a combination. If this stuff was helpful today, hit that subscribe button for me. Hit the like for me. Leave a comment and say hi. This is Rich on Money, wishing you health, wealth, and financial independence as early as possible. Rich on Money, signing off.